Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be completing the glow up series, which is a 3-part series about how I tell you guys how I went from looking like this to looking like that. Now today is the 3rd part and the last part, and we're going to be talking about mental well-being. I was a little late to start this because I got a cute delivery from my boyfriend. Look at how gorgeous these are, and it's huge. Oh my god, it's like bigger than my head. I'm obsessed with these flowers, guys. I think this is my favorite arrangement he's ever gotten me. Aww. It's Valentine's Day today. Anyway, I'll put these away later. We got work to do. So the first thing on the docket that I want to talk to you guys about, and this is a huge thing that really is a make it or break it in your life when you're on your glow up journey, when you're on your self-growth journey, is negative self-talk. So many people have such a negative idea about themselves and they speak so negatively to themselves. If you don't get this bad habit out of your life, it's going to be very hard for you to become that person that you want to be. Do you like it when people speak to you negatively? How does it make you feel when people put you down, people treat you poorly? It makes you feel bad, right? So if you're doing that to yourself and you're the one person that has control over whether you're able to speak positively to yourself or not, you're going to be pulling yourself down so much. It's going to have such a huge impact on you day to day. And you might not even notice this because you're so used to it, but it's something that you have control over. You can look in the mirror and you can look at yourself and say, I look ugly today. Or you can look in the mirror and say, you know what? I think I look really cute today. I look beautiful today. If you genuinely don't feel beautiful or you don't feel like you look good, comment on something that you think looks nice. Like, for example, I think I have really nice eyes. I can say, I love the way my eyes look. I have beautiful eye color. Think about those positive things. A lot of people have a bad habit of continuing to let negative thoughts take up space in their head. What this does is it really diminishes your confidence. It makes you feel smaller. When you're trying to glow up, when you're trying to become the best version of yourself, you need to take up space. You need to tell yourself that you are that. Sometimes you need to fake it to make it until you actually make it. Let's say you want to make new friends, but you're scared that they're not going to like you. You're going to tell yourself, you know what? I don't know if they're going to like me or not. I'm just making up scenarios in my head that haven't even happened yet, that aren't even true. Maybe I won't even like them. You have to change these ideas in your mind so that you can be more aligned with the type of person that you want to be. The type of person you want to be, would they speak poorly about themselves? Probably not, right? Doubt themselves all the time? Probably not, right? Because they're probably really confident. And when a negative thought comes up in your mind, really sit with it and think about it. Try and understand why this thought's coming up in your mind. Why am I thinking this? There's a famous quote that says, you are not your thoughts. When you understand this, it'll be a huge power for you. We will have thoughts that come up, right? But it's up to us to move our mind in a different direction. If you're going down a path of depression and sadness and anger, you have the choice of whether to continue going down that road, change the things that you're saying to yourself. I'm going to use myself as an example. I lost my job last year. I had to move across the country. I didn't have a job here, and it's a really expensive city to live in, probably the most expensive city in my whole country. So it was really stressful for me because I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be able to pay my bills? Instead of thinking all those negative thoughts, which I sometimes did, of course, it's natural, I told myself, okay, what are the things that I can do to get to where I want to be? What are the skills that I can acquire so that I can be in a better position? If you're in a really bad place right now, maybe allow yourself a couple minutes a day just to sit in it and just to let those thoughts come to you. But to sit with them and continue to let them control your life is something completely different. I'm getting over a cold. What you need to do when these thoughts come into your mind is you need to stop, listen to the thoughts, understand what's happening, and then redirect. Oh shit. You need to redirect your thoughts. Think of something positive. Ask yourself a question. What can I do to get myself out of this scenario? If you want to become unstoppable, the most confident version of yourself, the best version of yourself, you need to be your own therapist. You can't be talking down to yourself all the time, because what is that going to do? That's going to just keep pushing you back down. Just imagine every bad thing that you say to yourself pushing you down further, pushing you down further. But think of these uplifting thoughts and these questions that you can ask yourself to bring yourself higher, taking you up another step towards your success, towards where you want to be, because every redirection and each and every positive affirmation that you give yourself is going to help you move towards that person that you want to be. I feel like in this society, we can be ultra negative sometimes. You need to be a little more positive. You need to be a little more ultra positive, okay? Go from this side to this side. Why are you over here when you can be over here? Positive self-talk and redirecting your negative thoughts are super important towards getting to where you want to be. You cannot look good, you cannot feel good, you cannot be good if you don't genuinely feel good from the inside out. You have to imagine yourself as that person that you want to be. This activity will help you. Write down the person that you want to be. What kind of characteristics do they have? What do they look like? What kind of person are they? How do they treat their family? How do they treat their friends and strangers? How do people describe them? What are their best traits? What are their strengths? All these things will help you visualize the type of person that you want to be, and it'll help you create steps towards achieving that type of person. 2, I want you guys to start writing down what you're grateful for. I have a gratitude journal. I write in my gratitude journal every day and every night. I write down things that I'm grateful for, and then I write down some positive affirmations and how I'm going to make my day great. And then in the evening, I write down one good thing that happened to me that day and how I'm going to make tomorrow great. This allows you to be in the moment and to appreciate those things that we tend to take for granted every single day. For example, your health. I've been sick this past week, and my mom used to say there's nothing worse than being sick. I felt horrible. I couldn't even walk. I got my period a couple days after I got sick, and let me tell you, like, the pain was insane. Could barely eat. I couldn't get out of bed. Journaling in a gratitude journal helps you remember these small things. It really puts everything into perspective. It reminds you what's really important. What are these things that we actually don't really think about every day but are such a big part of our days. It also allows for more abundance to come in your life, because instead of focusing on the negative, you're focusing on something positive. You're focusing on your health. You're focusing on being able to see your friends for a nice dinner, or maybe someone did a nice gesture for you, or you got some roses from your boyfriend. And it's really nice to also look back on all these positive things that happen in your day. Think about the most positive person you know and think about their habits. They're most likely focusing on the positives in their life, and that's what brings them so much joy. If you're a positive person, you're going to attract more positivity into your life. People are drawn to people who are happy. This generation, we're so focused on negativity that it's everywhere, and it's such a normal thing. People are stuck in this mindset of lack. And if you just change that into a mindset of gratitude and abundance, I'm absolutely sure that it's going to come to you, and you're going to receive so much more of what you're focusing on. The third thing I want to talk about is toxic relationships. Being in a toxic relationship can pull you down so much in your life. It can diminish your confidence. It can hurt you financially. It can hurt you physically. It can hurt you emotionally. I digress. Knowing the type of person that you want to be with, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner, is super important. Having boundaries is even more important. If you have a hard time saying no, or if you're a people pleaser, that's something that you definitely need to work on. You tend to say yes to a lot of things because you don't want to let people down. But at the end of the day, you have to realize sometimes when you do that, you're letting yourself down. And if you're letting yourself down, you're hurting yourself. You have to be selfish in some ways and say, no, I'm not going to do this. I don't feel like doing this. You have to really learn how to recognize toxic patterns. So let's say you're in a relationship and your partner is really restrictive in a lot of ways, and this is not the type of person that you are. You need to recognize that the relationship probably won't work out because you guys have different personalities. Be around the type of person that you would want to be like. Having friendships that positively impact you and positively influence you to become that person you want to be. They say that you are essentially the 5 people that you hang around. Show me your friends and I will show you your future. You become like the people that you hang around because you're spending so much time with them. You pick up on their habits. If you're hanging around people who you're not inspired by, who are not going down a good path, these are people that you should reconsider being friends with. And I know that maybe some people have been your friends since you were a little kid, or since daycare, or their family friends, maybe even family. If you see that these people are going on a path that is not going to be conducive to a healthy and fulfilled future, then you will most likely be going down with them. If it's important to you to be successful in life, since you're watching this video, I'm sure that you want to be the best version of yourself. You want to be successful in life, and you want to have friends that you can be proud of being associated with. I'm sure you want to be proud of the partner that you're associated with. Then you need to make sure those choices of friends and romantic relationships are going to be conducive to a good future for yourself. When it comes to actual romantic relationships, this is probably the most important decision you will ever make in your life. I've seen people really flourish from amazing, good relationships, and I've seen people shrivel up and die, literally, physically, and metaphorically in every way, from being in a bad relationship, because you will be spending so much time with this person. And if this person's negative, if this person is bringing themselves down, bringing you down every day, you're just asking to have a life of stress, misery, depression, abuse. It's really important to understand what your values are and what you want in another person. For example, some of the values that I really wanted was someone who's a family man, someone who's thoughtful, and someone who is creative and entrepreneurial like myself. I wrote down a huge list of over 100 things I wanted in a man. Luckily, I found a man who literally is all of those things. And that's why I'm telling you, be very specific about what you want, because that's what the universe is going to give you. It's like a Google search. If you don't search the right thing, you're not going to get the exact answer that you want. That's the same thing with your life. And that's why I say write down lists. Write down what type of person you want to be. Write down what type of partner you want to be with. Write down what type of friends you want to have. Because all those things are going to impact you, and they're going to create the person that you're going to be in the future. And you have power over these things. Like, you are able to control who you're friends with, who comes into your life, who stresses you out, and who makes you happy. And that's the beautiful thing about life, that you have control and you're the author and you get to write this story. Hope this series helped you guys. I really want to dive a lot deeper into some of these topics and give you some more advice so that I can help you become your best self, while I also become my best self, because I'm also on a journey. It's a constant thing. You're going to constantly be working on yourself. You're going to constantly be changing and evolving and growing, and that's what life is all about. I hope you guys had an amazing Valentine's Day. If you had a bad Valentine's Day, positive self-talk. You will meet your person one day, and they're going to love you very much, and you're still so loved right now. If no one told you today, I love you. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.